just square boxes. It's all on racks. How difficult can they be? How complex is this job really? It's not that hard. Does it seem achievable to you? To use a robot to pick these things up? Doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, does it? We're telling a believable story. How big could this be? Well, this is an industrial vehicle. What other kind of industrial vehicles are there that you might use a robot to drive around? Has anybody looked across the fence down at the port? Straddle carriers, bulldozers, mining, airports, construction, military. Gosh, there's quite a lot, isn't there? Where are most of the vehicles? Public transport, private transport. It might be some years away, but how would you begin? Well, probably you begin with automating forklifts in warehouses. So you can begin to tell a story of the future. You can begin to tell your story of, get in now, invest now, pick me as your winner now. Because this is the technology of the future. As I famously said last week, this will be the chip that drives your car in 2023. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I said it, so it's going to have to happen. So, start to talk about how your market is, start to talk about how big it can be on a global basis. Make people understand that there's room for a new product or a new company in this market. You don't have to list endless facts and figures. You don't have to show lots of bar graphs. You just need to help people understand that a lot of money is spent in this particular market addressing this particular pain. In my instance, in the USA last year, they spent $134 billion paying forklift drivers. And that's a per annum cost, $134 billion per annum. So I don't need to talk about how much market I need to capture or how many forklifts I need to automate, really. I just need to say it's about $134 billion a year. And most people who are investing in my company are investing $25,000 to $35,000. They're pretty happy with hearing $134 billion. And that's pretty much enough. Okay? You don't need to throw a lot of statistics at your audience when you're trying to sell them on this kind of stuff. So I've got pain, I've got product, and I've got market. How big is the market? I also need to tell people how I'm going to make money. And I don't know what the next slide is. But it's good enough. I need to make people understand what it is that my business is going to do that creates the money, okay, that earns revenue. So we build the software and we integrate the hardware that we retrofit to our customers' forklifts. And we sell this product as a major piece of capital equipment, which means they pay us a lot of money up front, really a lot of money up front. And then we implement it for them, and then we charge them ongoing service revenue. So we have some annuity revenue as well. Do you understand? Do you understand how my business makes money? That simple, okay? When you explain your business model, when you explain what it is you do, that's simple. Pain, product, market, model. Let's jump forward. A little bit about competition. My competition sells products for $83 million each. There's some opportunity for me to undercut them there. Let's move past it. It's my favourite part. Team. There are a couple of important things about team. One, if anybody's going to give you money, it's because of your team. When it boils all down, it's because of your team. If anybody's going to buy your product as the first customer, it's because they believe your team can deliver it to them. It's very, very important. Yes, up here on my team, I've got a wealth of experience, an absolute wealth of experience. Okay, I spend most of my time just doing what these people tell me because they are amazing. You might not have that. In fact, I can guarantee you, you probably don't have that to begin with. But neither did we. When we began, I was 2005, I was just turned 30. Most of my team were doing their PhDs, they were sort of 24. Okay? So no, we didn't have this wealth of experience standing behind us, but we did have a great deal of commitment, and we had a great deal of brain power, and we knew how to tell our story. Another important thing about team, it's not just you. This goes to Brian's point. It's not just you. Hell, if you are part of the Spark competition, okay, Fonterra are our largest investor. They're also our development partner. They're also our lead customer. It's a very interesting relationship. We went to Fonterra when we were part of the Spark 2005 40K Challenge. Okay, we just qualified, but we were just finding out what we're supposed to do. And someone said to us, you need to go and talk to potential customers who use forklifts and find out if they care about automating these. So we went to Fonterra, picked up the phone, found a number to dial, called up some guy called Nigel, whom we'd never met, had no idea what we were doing, left a voicemail for him. And from that point, we now have a very, very deep relationship with Fonterra.
Because things change.
Was it real? Did they believe it? Yes. It was fine. Okay. Something else I was going to say about Fonterra. It escapes me, I'll come back to it. You do need to do some numbers, but they are not that hard. Okay? If people have told you you need to pay a lot of attention and do lots of forecasting, you need to think ahead and try and understand how much product do you think you can sell. So how many customers in the first year or the second year? In our case, we couldn't sell any product to our customers in the first year or the second year because our product existed in PowerPoint slide form only. So we had to spend 2 years building our product before we could even start to sell it. So you need to make sure that that kind of thing is in your financials. But they're not that hard. Just think, if it's the first year, I don't know what I'm doing, I haven't got any customers, how many customers do I think I can talk to, and how much do you think they'll pay for? There's year one. Year two equals year one times 2. I know that's possibly oversimplifying things a little bit, but in the end, that's where your financials will come from. Your financials will not be right. Don't worry about it. No one expects them to be right. My financials, okay, even after some time of doing this, my financials are still not right. And when I stand in front of venture capitalists, investors, and I pitch to them, they look at me and they know my financials are not right either. Okay? It's not about making sure that your financials are perfect or giving huge amounts of depth. It's about showing that you have thought seriously about what you think is possible, that you have put some real effort and some brain power into what this business could be. And if your real effort and brain power says that after 5 years you'll be turning over $100,000 a year, you need to understand what kind of business that is. If your effort says and your brain power says after 5 years you'll be turning over $100 million a year, it's a different kind of business. And you have to consider how you grow them and where you get the money from. But they just want to see that you put some effort in. Pain, product, market, model, team, numbers. 6 things. I think those are the 6 things that you've probably learned in the last 5 weeks. And that's it. Okay? It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to show that you have talked seriously, have thought seriously about those 6 things, and can convey them in a really simple, easy to understand manner. Did I convince you? Do you believe that you've used your last 5 weeks very, very valuably and usefully? Because you really have. And just incidentally, when we won the Spark 40K Challenge in 2005, probably unlike Brian, we had absolutely no intention of starting a company. We had absolutely